Hello everyone. Yes, shockingly enough, 2 streams in a row. I mean, did you really expect any more from the local disaster? Anyway, I've been having some trouble, chat. Let me just quickly. There we go. So I've been having some issues. I spent since about 9 o'clock this morning with a space between like 12 and now, so I spent roughly about 3 hours this morning trying to figure out how to do armor on this thing. I have tried like half a dozen different ways to get this to look vaguely armor-like. Currently, it just looks like this guy is just about to go to the gym. So, in the meantime, while I'm trying to figure that out, I'm going to attempt to retopologize this thing. So I'll just remove that. Now, usually the best place to start is on the hands. So, I am in object mode, right? Yep. Just plonk down a circle for now. How many do I need for fingers? These are quite big fingers, but they're not particularly important here. Maybe 8. So how are we doing today, chat? I've, like, beyond just, like, the general pest of trying to get the armor to work on this thing, like, it's been a relatively chill morning. Okay, just scale this down. Alright. Maybe... yeah, just shift along the X a bit. Scale it down a bit more on the X. Now I think that's good enough. I just need to probably rotate along the regular Z axis. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have the corners, like one of the verts on the circle be on the top, the bottom, and the sides specifically. Because I remember the first time I tried to retopologize a character, like in my stupidity, I thought, oh, it'd be a good idea if I had the flat sides on the top and sides. As it turns out, having the corners is just so much easier. Should be good enough, I think. So, send it to there, and now, very specifically, I need to shrink wrap to the bot, to the quote-unquote chest, but body technically. Outside surface, and I probably want 0.02. No, that's way too much. Like maybe 0.05. Okay, that's still a bit much. So if I put 2 here, maybe? Yep, here we go. Just what I wanted. Now I'm gonna rotate this. You shouldn't really rotate in edit mode, but I kind of need to here. Now if I on-cage this, snapping on, and now if I extrude, it should... I hate when it does this. It just goes all over the place. If I wanted you to go all over the place, I wouldn't have snapping enabled. So, today, because I was getting so salty at trying to figure out how to do armor for this thing, right? I got super salty, so I decided, oh, I'll take a break and play some of their new Minecraft update, the April Fool's one. And I must say, it is probably going to be one of the more broken April Fool's updates I've ever seen. So, as it turns out, they're like gemstones in general in this particular update are just absolutely busted. Like, they grant so much experience. Like, I mean, it's all well and good to say that, oh yeah, if you get the dirt upgrade, you can use that to gain experience, and that's all well and good. But if you really want to just speed level throughout the entire thing, like, nether quartz, amethyst are both absolutely broken options. Like, I spent one round, because I have nether waste unlocked, I spent a round just playing the nether waste specifically. Like, it was, what was it, nether waste, deep dark. And I kid you not, by the time that I had gotten out, I'd gotten like 3 stacks of quartz blocks. Like 3 and a bit. And that amounted to a value of 150, and I swear to you, I got like probably just over 300 levels of experience just doing that. So if anyone wants to break the April Fool's update, gemstones is where it's at apparently. Like, I have no idea what they were thinking when they set the value of nether quartz that high. Especially considering the fact that you can just spawn, basically just spawn in the biome that has the quartz. Like, it takes no time to get a whole bunch of experience from that. Okay, and straight over this. I think I'm going to keep the fingers, but I'm going to make the claws into the armor piece. I think that would make the most sense here. And I am going to make them separate entities, like the armor and the body, because I do, like, when I'm eventually going to use this as like an animation character, what have you, I do want to have the armor locked to specific bones. And I think the easiest way to do that is to have them separate. But anyway, back on the topic of the April Fool's update. So, yeah, apparently, just if you want to break this immediately from the get-go, your best option is going to be nether quartz. If you can find it, amethyst is also a good option. Like, if you happen to be early game and you're in a water world or something like that. And, like, the way that I found out about the amethyst geode thing was because I found one on the surface, like, exposed to open air, but the Y value was, like, Y48 or something like that, so I know logically that's where it should be spawning in, but it still feels wrong because it's just open air geode. Because I'm pretty sure that's not meant to be a thing that happens, no? Like, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like, oh, yeah, it does spawn at this, but first you have to be, like, underground or something, but apparently not. Like, what a weird incident to have, because, like, whenever I'm looking for amethyst geodes in Minecraft in general, I found out the best way to do it is just to go into the open ocean. But for whatever reason, it just decided to spawn there, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And lo and behold, like, the amethyst was worth a considerable amount. In fact, I spent the rest of the time I had on that particular map just farming amethyst. I don't remember exactly how much I got off of that, but it was a pretty reasonable amount. Okay, I might extrude this out one more. Just rotate, extrude it out, and then probably grid fill this would be the best option. It's one of the reasons why I picked 8 in the first place. So if I grid fill this... I mean, yeah, that technically works, but that's not what I want. Fill that. And then fill those two in, but then join these. No? Am I dumb? Wait, what am I? Oh, the other one's down here. I want to fill this entire section in. So if I fill that, and then... No, I want to fill the entire thing in, thanks. Because then what you can do is you can grab these and press J to join, and then that's just all quads. And I think this is clean enough for fingers. Probably want to... Like, I know there's going to be poles and whatnot, but not much I can do about that. Like that. Probably want to put another wood cut in there. Yeah, that's better. Oh, can't forget the mirror modifier, and this one needs to be last specifically. So that all the changes made to the main mesh can be duplicated on the other side. So that mirror has to be on the bottom, I think. Because I know generally speaking, whenever somebody wants a mirror modifier, they always put it on top. But it's not going to be helpful here. And yep, 8 as usual. Turn that off for a second while I adjust this. Yep. I need to actually connect this too. There we go. And grab all. No, just this one, please. Alright, cool. But yeah, I find the new April Fool's update to be quite fun for the most part. Like, the only caveat is that the first boss mine that you do, if you're unprepared for it, it can be a bunch of crap. Because I wasn't prepared for the silverfish thing at all. And okay, I'm gonna admit this, I failed the first time around whenever I was doing the particular boss, because it's always silverfish first. It's small and deadly. So I would invariably always fail small and deadly for one reason or another, but the first time I failed it in the dumbest way possible. It wasn't, I could legitimately tell you it wasn't even my fault. So I had set up a trap for the silverfish, right? Just like your standard, you know, the one where you make the piglins fall into a hole and then you just smack them afterwards. I did basically the same thing, but just smaller for the silverfish. And a couple of other mobs got trapped in there because it was still a 2-block deep hole. But for whatever reason, and I tried to double check this and all, but one of the mobs just continued hitting me after I hit it. Now you would think, oh yeah, that just sounds like thorns, what the hell is she talking about? There was no enchantments on any of the mobs when I was looking at them. There was a total of 4 or 5 mobs in the hole. There was 1 drowned, 3 silverfish, and maybe, yeah, another zombie. So I checked, and there was no thorns on any of them. None of them were wearing armor, nothing like that. But somehow I died to thorns damage. I couldn't tell you how this happened. I was just extremely unlucky. Because I was already on minimal food, minimal health. I was on, I'd like to say, 2.5 hearts. And I take one swing at them, I'm brought down to half a heart. And I just examined them really closely. I'm just like, that's odd. There's nothing there indicating like armor that would have thorns. And I thought, oh, it must have been a fluke. So I hit them again, and I die and fail the mine. And because I was doing like a Nuzlocke type thing, I had to basically just restart the entire run. Like, what I'm doing now, like, it's fine. I haven't had any too closer calls, but that still hurt, man. Like, that was rough. And, like, I've found some other weird instances, too. Like, there's the Warden boss fight, right? And I haven't done it yet. Like, I haven't done it properly, but I did activate it for one round. I believe it was for... I'd like to say Mine 7 that I was doing, but it was a floating island one. And I thought it was a bit bizarre that the Warden was... The Warden was on a stage, basically. If you know, you know. And I tried, like, activating the event or what have you, but it burrowed into the ground and then it just disappeared for the rest of the world. Like, I tried looking for it, it just wasn't there at all. Like, I don't know if I did something wrong to activate it, or if it was the fact there was a sky island that caused it to break, but still haven't completed that one yet. And I've found another interesting thing. So, during the latest round that I was doing, which was in Nether Wastes, apparently, like, blazes cannot hurt you, like, from range, if you decide to take the fire shield ability. So the one that makes it so you're immune to any, like, type of fire if you're blocking with the shield. It gives you, I believe, 5 seconds of fire resistance. So yeah, as it turns out, the blazes are basically useless at range if you have that equipped. Like, I already knew that if you were up against, like, if you were physically touching a blaze, it would cause physical damage, but I just assumed for whatever reason the fireballs did physical damage as well. So I suppose we learn something new every day. What else? Oh, I tried out the dirt power-ups. So there's like a series of power-ups you can use, and it's all entirely dirt-based. Apparently, you can just eat dirt. And I found out that if you have, like, basically it's just like this. If you have the ability to eat dirt, you don't want to become a campfire, basically. And that sounds utterly deranged. What do you think of the Switch 2? Okay, hot take, I don't think it's worth it. Well, I suppose it's not that hot of a take, but the price of the Switch 2 is just, first of all, it's far too outside the realms of what I can afford in the first place. But the fact that they're charging $10 extra for physical games over digital games, first of all, and the fact that New Zealand tax is basically a thing, so probably get charged an additional $20 on top of that, just makes it not worth it to me. Like, maybe if stuff was on sale I'd consider it, but for the time being I don't think it's worth it. Like, the games look good, like Donkey Kong Bonanza and that, what was it, that open world Mario Kart, those look like fun, but not enough to justify that price point, I think. Like, they would have to pull out some pretty heavy stops to even get me consider that pricing. What do you personally think of it? Like, I know everyone has their own differing opinions, but I know that the general consensus is that the price is just not worth it. It's going to be interesting to see how the scalping market deals with this, because I've seen rumors on different websites that Nintendo is intending to have a lot more stock this time around to prevent scalping. But I'm not sure how much more that's going to be, because in saying that, I've heard, I'm not too sure, unless a really good Zelda game comes out on it, it'll just be another Pokemon machine. That's fair enough. I saw, what was it, Hyrule Warriors Tears of the Kingdom was going to be out on it, but yeah, I mean, like, especially in the case of ZA, since it's already coming out on Switch from the looks of it, I don't think that's even worth getting a Switch 2 for that. Like, I know there's supposed to be high fidelity graphics and whatnot, but if you're like me who has really poor eyesight, like, what difference does that make, realistically? And one more, I believe. Yeah, that will be sufficient. Just put that in. I might pull that entire ring down. I don't want to pull that side down by accident. ZA doesn't look that great to me. It feels like a watered down game compared to the first one. Compared to Legends, like Legends Arceus. Yeah, I understand that. Like, I don't blame them for trying to capitalize on the whole Legends hype from, well, I believe it was in 2020, right? But, like, I think they did well on Legends Arceus, but I don't think that going about, yeah, where are the ride Pokemon? I don't think they would reveal the ride Pokemon this early into development. They might reveal something close to the time, but I know they're being absolutely inundated with leaks. Like, if you've been keeping up with the news somewhat, apparently they leaked, well, somebody leaked I think it was like 27 or 25 Pokemon that had Mega Evolutions. Like, it's ridiculous how much is getting leaked at the moment, so they're probably keeping that somewhat close to their chests, or at least as much as they can, which I can't blame them for. The only thing I'm disappointed about, and this is just a personal gripe for me, because I'm just like a massive fan of it, where's the Arcanine Mega Evolution? Like, where is that? Like, we've gone just about everything for Arcanine, but where's the Mega Evo? I believe some of those are fan-made and some were unconfirmed, but we may be thinking of different leaks. I mean, fair enough. Apparently, the one that I was looking at had been taken down by Nintendo. And if there's one thing I do know about them, is that they have a horrible habit of accidentally confirming things by removing leaks. Like, if Nintendo took down fake leaks and real leaks at the same rate, or if they waited a bit before taking down real leaks, I would believe it was fake. But the fact that they took it down so soon makes me question. Alright, let's shrink wrap back up. Okay, that's inverted. Calculate the outside on there we go. But yeah, like, the fact that Pokemon fans are just so rabid when it comes to fan leaks is just probably reasonable to have suspicion on anything that comes out. Probably one more extrusion on this, yeah. Fill that in and try to get all of this filled in too. Actually, why am I doing that when I can just fill in the entire thing, then just join from here? There we go. I think Pokemon was one of the few fan bases where the fans actively hate the property. That's not entirely true. I mean, Digimon exists. But besides throwing shade at Digimon, yeah, it's like completely understandable because it's equal parts of the fans think they know better and some of the fans do know better. Because, like, it's all well and good to say, oh, I can do something better than the multi-billion-dollar company and all that. But there are very few people who can do that, but I wouldn't say it's entirely the fault of nostalgia, but a good chunk of it is. Let's be honest. Like, if you think about the average age of a Pokemon player in this day and age, like, it's roughly about my age. It's like 27, 28. Like, obviously you've got a lot younger people playing, you've got your competitive scene and all that, but like, your average player is a fair bit older than most people would like to admit. So, being disillusioned with how Nintendo's treating their property lies mostly on the older end of the audience spectrum. And I accidentally snapped that. I thought Sea Glass was a really good ROM hack that took Pokemon back to a fun place. I often think 3D was a bit of a mistake. Yeah, I see that that's the general consensus, and I believe it's because the 3D models look, for want of a better term, soulless, like there's no light behind the eyes. Like, you look at, I know a popular example is the black and white sprites. They have, like, a lot of movement, they have, like, specific things for the Pokemon. It's just, like, it feels alive, but you go to, like, the 3D era and it's, for a start off, just nothing behind the eyes besides, you know, it's 3D time. There's just like, I wouldn't say there's no humanity behind it, but it does feel like there is something missing. But I haven't played Sea Glass. Is it any good? I don't play ROM hacks nearly as often as I used to when I was younger. That, and I found 2D games had a lot more rewarding exploration. Scarlet Violet was huge, but I didn't really feel like I found anything. Yeah, it felt vacant. Sea Glass is great. I'll have a look at it after the stream's over. But yeah, like, Scarlet Violet felt very vacant. Like, the place is huge and all that, but without things to actually look for, it just feels like a whole lot of nothing. Emerald with gold silver graphics? Oh, okay. That's really specific, but I think that does work. I'll have to have a look at it later. What was the last ROM hack that I even played? It was probably a Mystery Dungeon one now that I think about it. I'm happy that they finally managed to get good modding tools for the Mystery Dungeon series, because that series did not get the recognition it deserved. But yeah, have a look at Emerald Sea Glass. Let me just... I have a notepad around here. Just throw this up. Yeah, I'll just note that down for later. What made Breath of the Wild work was that no matter where you went, there was something to find. Yeah, okay, this is probably going to sound awful. I haven't played Breath of the Wild, and I don't think that I will, purely because I skipped straight to Tears of the Kingdom, and I didn't personally enjoy it. Although, in saying that, it might just be on me not being a huge Zelda fan. But yeah, like, whenever I looked at footage of Breath of the Wild, like, it did always seem like there was something to do. Okay, and that's probably about as good as I'm going to get. I'll add another loop cut to that. Where is my knuckle here? Okay, so that probably needs to be beveled. Yeah, and that will just give enough edges and whatnot to make it move properly without having to worry about severe deformation. Like, I've seen a lot of clips of Breath of the Wild. I think you either like it or you don't. Nothing wrong with having your own opinion. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like, I would like to say I'm much more of a story-driven person than I am exploration. But in saying that, I also like Power World, so that doesn't really say a lot. But, like, I tried Tears of the Kingdom, and I found it to be a bit boring. Like, I wanted to tap out after, like, the first hour. And I think that was a very common thing for a lot of people who were new to the series. So, maybe I would prefer Breath of the Wild over Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not sure. I've never played the game, as I said. Okay, that should be fine. Now I've just got to connect these together. Oh, something's gone wrong there. I found that with Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild is a better story in my opinion. I mean, again, I can't comment on that, but I feel like you know enough to probably be correct on that. Because I've seen that a lot of people, like, for want of a better term, it was derisive. Like, there were some people who really liked Tears of the Kingdom and some people who just didn't feel it, for want of a better term. I was just one of those people who just did not feel the vibe. Now, why are you not doing what I requested you? If I do this, will that fix it? Yes, it will. I'll probably have to... It's kind of messed up, but I can probably fix this. No, because if I snap it, it's not good. Anyway, this has been fun. I have to go now. Have a good day. Yeah, you too, Nicholas. Just take care of yourself, yeah? Alrighty. Now to find out why this is not working as intended. Probably if I draw these out a bit, I can get these to move down. You too, bud. Alright, let's see. Maybe if I... But if I just drag it, the shrink wrap doesn't agree with it. Ah, okay, that might give me some problems. But if I loop cut this, it's not going to stick properly. Alright, let's try this. If I pull up the shrink wrap now... Okay, that's a bit better. I do think that the webbing between the hands needs to be pinched a bit though. Because if I don't do that, it's probably going to cause issues later on down the line. Let's see if I... Yeah, because if I edge slide that, it's just going to continuously stick and I don't want that. I need to move this one down quite a bit. I fill this in, yeah, it just looks a bit jank, but I can move everything after that. There we go. Yeah, that worked out slightly better than this one on the left. Right. So if I do that now, I can extrude it up. Like that. Now I need to smooth these a bit. Yeah, okay. That was a bit easier than I was expecting it to be. probably drag this down so it conforms more to this webbing in between the thumb and the index finger. If I grab this important out, yes. Like the idea is just to get this somewhat pinched together. Now if I pull this back up, there we go. Fill that together. It doesn't quite work out the way that I hoped, but it's certainly better than, you know, not having retopology at all. Maybe... do I rotate this then? If I rotate the thumb, it might give me a better result. So if I rotate this... probably around about... because what I want to do is I want to have a good enough density, like maybe I want 3 here. Or maybe I just get rid of this face loop entirely, just eat that off the face of the earth for now. Scale that bit, and then if we fill that, it should, yeah, look a little bit better. Now, yeah, that's still quadded, so can't complain about that too hard. The only issue is that it creates a pole there, but as far as poles go, I don't think that's an awful position. At least I don't think it is. There's there's the possibility that somebody who's experienced in 3D modeling is watching this right now thinking, like, what the hell is this woman doing? I'm doing my best. That's what I'm doing. Right. Like, it'd be absolutely comical if it turned out my instructor was just watching my stream currently, and he's just vaguely disappointed in what I'm doing right now. It'd be vastly hilarious to me if that were the case. Cross. The density on this is quite high, but I'm pretty sure I can get away with that if I just move some stuff around. Not move that one because that's apparently the knuckle. Just smooth these out a bit, yeah. Man, smooth vertices makes my life so much easier. Cool. Now if I smooth that out, we've got 2 hands. So, next is arms. How much do I want for the arms? Maybe 12? Maybe 12 or maybe 10? I'll do 12 actually. I just prefer something that's divisible by 4. Just force a habit, you know, because when it comes to mirroring things in Blender, I've found that just having things divisible by 4 makes it so much easier. Okay. Yeah, then just scale that down a bit. Right, now, if I grab that. Oh, just want this one, thanks. I street this out this way. Just have a general idea of what it is I am doing. This is why I actually wanted more geometry, it's just so I could have less bits sticking out. Just grab the linked, smooth vertices a couple of times. I think I want to adjust the positions of these just so there's not huge amounts of density underneath the arm. Because I mean, like, it's all well and good to have a reasonable amount of density, but I just prefer it to not be in one location. I think that's probably good. Now I need to have 3 loop cuts going there. So if maybe I want a bit more density. So I move them across. And then, yeah, I've got the 3 loop cuts there for deforming of the arm when it comes to rigging. Rotate along the z-axis just a bit, yeah. And then I'll leave the shoulder joint for now. I will rotate that though. Just grab every other one and drag it. Just try and equalize this as much as possible. We drag that down a bit. Probably need a look cut there. Yeah. I'll drag these along just a smidge to make them equal. Alright, so we've got arms now. What do we need to do legs next? Or at the very least the feet. Don't mind me crunching on some ice. Probably want to do the feet first, I think. There. Try and get a bit more even. Shrink wrap. Scale it down. Rotate it. Further. Actually, I just realized this is going to be 10, isn't it? Because I added. Actually, no, it's 12. So I'll grab. Put that back to 8 vertices. I wonder if you, like, I feel like if you did fraction vertices, you'd probably make the computer very upset. Or Blender probably doesn't allow you to do it anyway. But, like, how would one get, like, point of a vertex? Like, how do you get 8.1 vertices? You probably can't. Actually, I wonder if it'd be worthwhile me duplicating that. Probably not actually, now that I think about it. Okay, I had this problem last time when I was doing the false Cerberus project, because I would like try and get the nails to be even, and Blender would just refuse. So I guess I'm gonna have to do this manually again. Like, smooth vertices doesn't even work here, unfortunately. One thing here is I actually need to rotate this. Alright. Again, just adjust these a small amount. I'm trying to smooth it, see if it works this time. Okay, it does. Cool. I'm not going to have extremely pointed ones this time around, I think. I'm just going to fill this in, join it, and then see where I can go from there. It just goes, yeah, I had this problem as well, it just goes all the way to the side. If I try pulling it back over, it's just going to snap between two different positions, or three in this case it seems. So if I take off shrink wrap for now, yeah, it's because it's like hooked over to the side. If I remesh this, it'd probably be less of a problem. Oh well, prepare for lag, and give it a moment, yeah. Remesh that again. There we go. Turn the shrink wrap back on, I should be able to fix this, possibly. Alright, why do you not want to do what I ask of you? Because if I just edge slide this while this is the way it is, I'm going to have problems. And pull it up in Z. There we go. Turn the snapping back on. Just adjust these positions so it's a bit more smooth and even. Alright. And we pull it back the other way. Just to tidy this up. So after I finish doing retopology, I've still got to do things like baking detail and all that, but other than that, like, the only major problem I'm having currently is just figuring out how I'm going to do armor. Because, like, I have a ton of armor references, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how I'm going to make it and then attach it to the body in such a way. Because, like, obviously I have all of this stuff. Like, I have the general gist of what I'm doing with the armor. But I can't figure out how I'm going to make the pieces, so to speak. So, just manage that. Rotate that, shrink should be enough for the foot for the time, like for this toe in particular for the time being. Alright, time to add another circle. Shrink wrap for this one. All the way down. Honestly, rotating to the camera is surprisingly useful. I mean, like, it's not useful when you're first starting out, but when you're finally actually getting into character modeling and that, rotating in alignment with the camera is just one of the best things to do. Especially if you're doing retopology, apparently. Why is the pivot point set to individual? I prefer medium. Alright. And let's rotate that bit. And get back to this. Again, the only thing really is just apparently the vertices don't want to stay in the same spot. And just evens out. Yeah, like, see how, like, this is not really all that dense when it comes to, like, vertices and whatnot. And you look at the underside, and there's just several there, just hanging about, not really doing anything of any worth. Pull that across, and hopefully this should be relatively centered. Just pull that across. Cool. I'll move this one over a bit. Alright, I'll extrude this one out another time before trying to red fill that in. Or just filling it in general. Since this thing doesn't want to play fair half the time. But that is alright. One of these days I'll get around to animation, I swear, but today is apparently just not that day. But thankfully this is the last assignment that I have to do when it comes to actually modeling, so after this I'm free to basically just do whatever I like. And what I'd like to do is learn how to 3D animate. I have a lot of ideas that I want to get down, but nobody appreciates just the ideas person. So having the ability to put that stuff into action just is so much more valuable, especially to me, but just in general. Close as I'm going to get. Time to pull this back in the other direction. Right, always making sure I have a cluster of 3 extrusions there just to make sure I have enough to rig things and animate it. For those of you who don't know why I would want to have 3 of these edges around a joint, when you go to rig and animate things, it just makes it so the bending doesn't look nearly as glitchy. I mean, like, I could technically rig this entire thing as it is, but trying to weight paint it and like get it moving properly would be an absolute nightmare in the current state that it is. I move this across. Yeah. A little bit more. What's the density? The densest part's on the top there. I don't know how I keep accidentally selecting things behind the retopology, but it does happen. Okay, cease. Blender, stop that. I did not ask. I did not ask you to do that, please stop. There's probably a setting to turn that off and I just haven't found it yet. And pull that down, and now we have something that vaguely resembles proper topology. I might pull this across a bit to cover up that, yeah. Even if it just leaves a bit of a hole there. I do not mind. Alright, back to this now. I'm just thinking at the moment about the previous Minecraft April Fool's updates, and I personally think my favorite one, like this year's one's been really good, but I personally think my favorite April Fool's update is the update Infinite. Because I mean, like, it's one thing to have the ability to like put in a couple of items and get out a new world. It's entirely different when you can just write the entire B-movie script, send it through a portal, and just end up in an area where there's just constant dragons attempting to murder you for your hubris. Like, there's just something so much funnier to me about that. So, at least in my heart, the Infinite Portals update is probably the best one. But, like, Craft Mine is an interesting update. Like, it's very similar. I'm hoping one day, like, I don't know if it will ever happen, but it would be really funny to see all of the previous April Fool's snapshots just melded into one great big update. And just watch the chaos absolutely unfold, because you've got Craft Mine, you've got Infinite Dimensions, you've got the voting update, which is a really good update. Like, it's a solid third place for me. Like, I think the hierarchy at the moment is the Infinite Portals update, Craft Mine, and then A or B. I think is probably my 3 top favourite April Fool's snapshots. But, like, could you imagine trying to do Infinite Dimensions and then you have to vote on something? Like, could you imagine if the voting update involved having unlocks for different April Fool's updates? Like, that would be quite fun to watch, I think. I am using the wrong keyboard shortcut for that. I'm supposed to be using J, not F. There we go. Sometimes I'm just not paying attention when I'm yapping too much. Alright. Now we can pull this back and we'll be just about done with the feed. I just want to slide that along, and I want to actually bevel this one. Only with 2 cuts though. Because that is still technically a joint that I need to make sure has proper deformation ability. Alright, don't need to move nearly as much this time around. Might just give this a slight lift up so I can get these 2 joined together. I'm going to edge slide the clamp off. Pull that in. And then do the same for this other side. I still need to do the like back toe as well, and the main bottom of the foot. Because unlike the hands, like there's the bottom of the foot, but then it goes straight up into the leg. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do that one. I can just... I'm not going to do that actually, not for the second. Instead, I am going to throw down a circle here. I'm going to make this probably 16. Would be better for the legs. Turn snapping off so I don't have issues with it. But going back on the whole conversation about the Nintendo Switch 2, I find it rather impressive that they finally managed to get Elden Ring onto the Switch, essentially. But the fact that they're charging so much for games now just really puts me off of wanting to explore the Switch 2. Like, it took me a considerable amount of time to even get to play the Switch 1. I believe between the time that the Switch 1 came out and the time that I got a hold of it, which hilariously enough was quite literally the year before the pandemic, I believe was about 4 years? When was the Switch release? Nintendo Switch came out 2017. So there was a solid 2 years where I just did not have a Switch. But if the... Am I in edit? Oh, I forgot to connect this up. Just join that. There we go. But like, yeah, the time between me getting the Switch... Like, getting the Switch and the time the Switch came out was quite an amount of time, at least for me specifically. My lord, I can't stand kids on Twitch. Oh no, Foxy, what happened? But yeah, it's just like, I feel like it's going to take as long for me to get to the Switch 2 as it did for me to get to the PlayStation 3. You know, the one that was historically stupidly expensive. Anyway, hello. Hello, Foxy. That's certainly an intro into getting into the stream for today, huh? Oh no, what did I do? Kids on friend stream being gross and also spamming. I hate it when that happens. Like, you're already spamming, but do you have to be weird about it, sort of thing? Like, why are people like this? But yeah, I don't think the, at least not in the current state that it is, I don't think the Switch is, like, the Switch 2 is worth it. And across there. Turn this back on, yep. Looks just fine to me for the time being. Let's wait until this thing just completely wigs out on me. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, like, there's a bit of density here that I'd prefer that wasn't there, but what can you do about it? Slide that up. There we go, that's better. Fill that in and join these together. So how have you been today, Foxy? Have anything interesting happen? Yeah, another one of these. Alright, So if I pull this all the way forward, that should, yeah, be a lot better now. Smooth verses. Just I want to drag this across without it snapping. Like, can I just do that, please? Apparently not. Blender just doesn't want me to do that. Like, it's being real finicky at the second, but it happens. And slide that without the clamp. And get that around that joint. There we go. Yeah, the density on this is not quite what I'd like it to be. I'll just slide that down. Slide that down, and I think that's just about right. I'll probably take this one up. Should be relatively easy now. I have no idea how I am going to go about joining the legs to the feet in this particular case. I think what I'll do is I'll bridge the edge loops on this. And then how many cuts do I suppose it's going to take? 5 maybe? 5 seems like a decent number here. And then probably these two. Yeah, I'll grab those two, I'll grab these two as well. I think this is correct. Yeah. So if I bridge the edge loops on these, give them 5 cuts as well. And then fill in the middle. Let's see what I can do here. 2, 3, 4. I've been with the BF most of the day, so I'd say I've been pretty good, aside from the back pain, of course. We did Mega Ordino raids. Oh, okay. Mega Ordino? That's a thing in Scarlet Violet? Oh, wait, you're talking about Poké Go. I forget Pokemon Go exists occasionally, especially hilarious coming from the person who used to be absolutely obsessed with it, yeah. No, don't worry, I got you now, but like, it took me a second, admittedly. So if I fill these two in, like, I know this is going to create a pole, but given the position, I don't think it's going to matter too much. What does concern me is the fact that I still need to... Oh, good lord, what have I done here? Why is there just random things here? Oh, good lord, how did I manage that? Maybe I want to... No, because if I do that further along, it's just not going to work. Okay, so I'm gonna fill this. What's the key to... So if I hello? Bridge edge loops. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I bridged the edge loops on these, it should be fine. After the raids, we just did our own thing. I mean, fair enough. Okay, can I just ask, how much of a bastard is Mega Ordino in raids? Because I know for a fact, like, in regular Pokemon gameplay, that thing is tanky as hell. So I could not imagine that being too fun of a time. Actually, I wonder if it'd be better if I just tried to connect these up first before trying to do that. They're actually easy with 3 people. That is a surprise to me. Because, like, as somebody who's done Megas solo before in Pokemon Go, that stuff, that can suck severely. So the fact that it's easy with 3 people is a surprise. With 20, it's done within 20 seconds. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, that was the case even with, like, the Mega Hoenn starters. Like, things like Mega Sceptile with 20 people was just ridiculously easy. I remember the days when I was, when I'd go down to the local lake. Because there's, like, on Reddit, specifically, there's groups where they meet up. Not necessarily meet up, but, like, they get together. And they have one person go into a raid, and then the other person just invites, like, 10 different people. And then, like, everyone just dogs on whatever Pokemon they're fighting. Really good way to get, legendary Pokemon, especially, like, shiny legendaries. Mega Ordino can also be done with just 2 people. It's honestly not that great stats-wise in Pokégo. Really? Like, I feel like Ordino would have been just an absolute powerhouse in Pokemon Go, especially considering how it is in regular gameplay. Alright, so... that. Oh, I might actually have a good amount of vertices for this. That'd be a surprise. Yeah, surprisingly it's fairly weak. I'm shocked, because, like, I remember back in the day when a huge threat, especially for gyms, was Chansey. And, like, that tracks, because if you've ever played Gen 1 competitive, it's absolutely busted. So, I assumed Ordino was the same way, because it's just, like, one of those mons you'd go to for huge amounts of experience. Like, I remember the whole secret base thing going on. Honestly, I should play... I have Omega Ruby, so I should play that again at some point. It's been a while since I played it. Like, the last time I played it, I was literally just sending all of my stuff to Pokemon Home. Because I had a fair amount of good stuff there. Okay, if I fill these in... Oh. I'll try and not get the back face, thanks. And shoot that downward. Actually, I'm gonna do that on the other side too. Okay, so it's even on both sides, thankfully. Fill this up. Yeah. And fill that in. That one in. Alright, that should be relatively good, I think. I might drag these down just a tiny bit. Yeah, there's like a couple poles on the back here, but there's not much I can do about that in this case. Because if I try to do anything else, it just will not work the way I intended for it to. So if I... Okay, so if I grab these, extrude them down. Oh, but then that just creates more poles. I don't really want that. Because, like, it's all well and good to say that a pole or two is fine, but at this point, there's just far too many. I'm gonna have to do this a better way, hopefully. So, like, the other option is to just try and fill it in from here. But then, obviously, the problem becomes this. And there's still poles there. So, how does one go about fixing this particular issue? So, let's cross a bit. Now, I could add extra loop cuts, but I don't think that's going to be the solution here. Here. I could do this. And while that would still possibly end up giving me poles, it'll probably be a lot less awful than what was initially presented to me. Okay, that's not as bad, so getting this cleaned up right here. Yep. And then like that in. Will hopefully provide me with less problems. Because there's another thing too, right, chat? So there's this section down the bottom that I still need to put up to this. So I wonder if getting these three and then just extruding out until I can connect them to the top might be better. And then grab these. No, don't want that, just want these ones. And bridge edge loops. And then hopefully that should allow me to keep quads going. The only issue that I'm having with this is the fact that... And, Foxy, could you kindly just... Actually, no, I'll grab it. Goodbye. I do not condone that in my chat, thanks. Please do not advertise your fake viewers to me. So the problem is that this has several faces and this only has two that I can still use. So I wonder if... Like I can fill this in, technically. And that would give me less that I had to worry about. I don't know if that would be the correct course of action here. Another option I have is to just bridge those two and work from there. So bridge edge loops. 5 cuts. Oh no, did I hit something at the back by accident? I did. 5 cuts. Just provides me with more problems than solutions here. I wonder if 3 cuts might be better. Just get 3 there. Actually, 2 cuts with results in 3 edges. Like, the only inherent issue now is that I have, like, this whole shebang going on. So I think maybe just extruding from these would be better. Holes be damned, like, it's my best option. And then drag this down. Extrude that across. Let's see. Now that could be a bit of an issue. Because if I connect this now, it's just, it can't connect at all because there's just too many edges. Oh, my bad, didn't catch that since I was going back and forth, lol. I mean, fair enough. Can't expect you to do all the work, Foxy. I mean, I am the streamer here. Gotta let my moderators have a break sometime. Nope, didn't want that. I'd like you to fill in correctly, please. And then comes this problem here. Now, one option I could use is I could split that. The other option is I could just edge slide this, fill it in, and then just fill that in. Not my preferred option, but it's probably the best option I have. And now I've just got to do that on the other side, hopefully. Oh wait, of course I need to do this first. Put that in. Now I just need to stream it downward. And fill that in. Oh god, there's a triangle. Oh no, that's not a triangle. I was about to say, bruh, that's what I spent the entire time trying to avoid, but no. It was just my blind ass thinking that was a triangle. And fill that in. Just pull that around to make that a bit more even. I really shouldn't be expecting perfection considering I'm basically just a beginner at this. But I want to try and at least get this as good as I can get it. And this is still an assignment after all. These kids for real complaining about MM2 winning the poll for game choices in my friend's streams, literally making threats over it. Like, bro, chill the hell out. Yeah, that's very strange. Like, I mean, to be fair, like, MM2 is not the game that it used to be, admittedly. However, like, threatening people over a choice of game is just, like, why? Like, why would you do this? It's completely pointless. Okay, what the hell was I doing? I was like trying to get this to go down here, right? Except the problem is now I have 2 gaps here. Alright, because I decided to fill this in. Down, pull that across. To be honest, chat, I have no idea what I'm going to do after this assignment's over. Like, as I said before, I did want to try and get into animation. But, like, at the same time, like, I don't want to lose practice on actually creating things, you know? So, I actually had 3 edges on this. But I don't now. So I have no idea how I'm going to go about doing this. Probably... yeah, because if I fill that in, it just becomes like that. Like, maybe I'll do like a week on, week off of like animation and then just like practicing general modeling techniques. Probably be in my best interest. Because if I join that up, because it's 3 faces. Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, because like I want to learn animation, but more importantly, I do need to keep practice. Otherwise, if I want to animate something, but for whatever reason the model I'm using is broken, like that becomes a huge issue. Oh, I was just overthinking the hell out of that actually. Okay, feet are finally done. Actually, I'm going to save that. So, making sure I get the 3 things on the joints. Because, like, as silly as it sounds, I really do want to do Minecraft animation. But... like, I'm probably never going to get this done, but I want to do, like, live action Minecraft, but in the other direction. Like, instead of people going to the Minecraft world, I want Minecraft to come to the real world. And, like, a sort of Pink Panther-esque type of situation. So, like... having Minecraft characters just be alongside actual people, but in the Minecraft, like, physical blocky style. I think that would potentially make a good movie, or like a good animation at least. So, like, I have guides on how to do VFX physically from Blender. But I have not been able to get around to that yet. I have been too busy on this. So... 3 should be sufficient. Just want to get some good density around those ankles. So verses. Look good. Yep. But yeah, like, I think it's a good idea, but I'm not an entire production team, at least not yet. Like, I cannot do that by myself. Like, I'm no Alan Becker, you know? Like, I have some good It's funny, because I use Obsidian, right? Which is a note-taking app. But I've been making things in the style of Wikipedia articles for, like, different episodes and whatnot. Which has led to me having an egregious amount of lore about things that reasonably would not make it into the actual series. Like, I have an entire quote-unquote Wikipedia page dedicated exclusively to creepypasta games that make an appearance in the series. And it's quite a long article, actually. I would honestly love to learn animation myself. I've been wanting to do it since I graduated high school. There's the whole reason why I went to college after all, but of course college I went to didn't have an animation class, so it was practically pointless. Oof, unfortunate. But however, the internet is a wonderful place where you can pretty readily find information on how to do animation. So I wouldn't stress about it too much, but like learning the principles of animation is probably your #1 priority. And there's like dozens of infographics, videos, and all that sort of stuff on how to do it. But it's just like what I'm currently doing with this whole retopology thing. Like, I technically do not need to learn how to do this. However, having the auxiliary skill set there, in case I need it, is very important to me. So, just drag this all the way up. And then just sort out the density from there. And also keep an eye on that arm too, otherwise if I smooth too much it might break that. But yeah, like in my case, I found a course on the internet being run by a guy named Grant Abbott. And he was doing like an 8-week course, and like this is what I've been doing, like for it. I've been just making models and whatnot. But it's not impossible to find that stuff on the internet, it's just having the ability to basically learn it yourself. Like, some people don't have the ability to do that, like I'm partially guilty of that. Like, you look at what I'm doing currently and I'm just like, how do you say that you're not capable of learning from the internet? Like, I required a whole course actually taught by an instructor in order to be able to do this a bit more consistently. So it's different for everyone. Okay, just smooth the vertices on that. Smooth again, rotate it. Like, I really just want to rotate these at the moment. Like, rotate them heading up to the hips. And then smooth that out. Alright, and that's as probably good as I'm going to get for that. Excuse me for a moment while I just have some water. Like, I know you're very much a, like, traditional 2D artist, aren't you, Foxy? Like, I know you're very much more pen and paper type of person. Like, I wonder how that would be different from, like, me trying to learn how to animate, because I work solely in 3D animation, most likely. Like, the real struggle for me here is, 3D modeling without the ability to draw. Like, as anyone can tell you, like, 3D animation doesn't require the ability to draw, but my god, does it make it easier if you can. And I want to make this relatively high density. I'll go for 16. I still need to split it in half too, so I'll just... these out of here. Now, I am supposed to actually have a... so just join this together. I really want to snap it though. So I'll just get this, scale it down. Ah, heck. G then X. And actually I'll see what I'm doing. So I need to put one. Be a great start, wouldn't it? Back, down just a tad more. Right, neat. So shrink the rat back on. Now I just need to snap all of this. Oh, whoops, did not mean to do that. Sorry, chat. And let's see, just grab this linked section, if it will let me. Hello. Thank you. And smooth the vertices a couple times. And scale to 0. Can I inadvertently remove... okay. Apparently smoothing it in this way just makes it unhappy for some reason. That's fine. I have certainly seen more bizarre shit happen. Now let's screw this up. Just get it all the way up to the underarm. Now I need to string this down. Oh, nope. Did not mean to do that. String that down. And just try and line that up. Actually, I probably just should try and line it up from the get-go, huh? It's always a good idea to try and count. That way you can connect these up a lot easier without having to deal with any additional faffing about. And probably that one and then connect up to the side. So let's see what we got here. Because I'm definitely going to need to have to, like, combine these down in order to fit into this section here. So I'll just need to figure out how I'm going to do that. Also, is the shrink wrap not on? Or, yeah, shrink wrap's on. I guess I'm just not giving this enough geometry in order for it to do what it's supposed to. Actually, probably what I can do is I can just put this up a smidge to 0.3. 0.03. Hey, look at that yet. Yeah, that's a bit better. edge loops up here. Yeah, that should be enough, and then do the same to the other side. Probably even say that's too stretched, but that is whatever. Man, now I know how it felt for you when you were modding for Charlie. Yeah, it do truly be like that sometimes. Like, I bet Charles is just thankful that he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. Like, didn't have to deal with that while I was doing it at least. So, if I do this... Might actually add an extra cut there. Yeah, lol, like... I've been like harassed to hell and back by the Roblox community in like the YouTube comments. Like, I could remember people like actually legitimately wishing death threats upon me. Like, damn bro, like what did I do? I just work here. Like, sir, this is a Wendy's? But yeah, like... There's been a lot of things that have happened over the years, and not all of it's quite been great. The fact that I'm here doing this now is as much of a surprise to me as it is to the rest of you. Probably from here I need to make this fit down a bit better. The Wendy's joke made me laugh, I'm sorry. Yeah, like... It's probably inaccurate to say, like, sir, this is a Wendy's, more like, sir, this is a Denny's. It would help if I could spell, yes, like, mood. So, how do I do this? From here, and then just extend this down this way. And then it becomes like that. I still need to actually, what I can do is I can actually insert this, which would probably make more sense. Now for this slot, I need to fill that in. I'm going to force this into space. Actually, no, that one's not a good idea, it seems. If I drag this along, I'll probably get away with it. Now this one I should surely be able to edge slide back and then fill in. Yeah, that seems to remain relatively consistent, which is what I want. Fill that in. Wait, do I have too few now? Surely not. Oh my good lord, I do. Maybe I don't need to try and divert that one then? I don't know why that's so pulled so far back. Okay, so yes, it does seem like I need to change this, like change the vase count down. The question is, how am I going to do that in this situation? Or maybe I need to add extra loop cuts. I'd rather not do that if I can help it. I'll add an extra one in anyway, because it would help with this top section here. So if I... not that one though, maybe this one? Do this, then hopefully I should be able to, yep, successfully get that working. There we go, chat. Finally managed to get a bit more done. So now I've just got to do the chest into the arms, and then the chest into the neck, and then the head, obviously. Not bad, I've been at this for like 2 hours now, and I've actually managed to get some decent work done. Let's just quickly add the neck in. Masigno is honestly a cool Pokemon, if you can even call it that. Like, the interesting part is that Masigno isn't even the strongest glitch Pokemon. Like, not a joke, there is, like, much stronger Mons that you could find. Like, we're talking base stat totals that are stronger than even, like, Eternamax Eternatus. Like, we're talking absolutely busted amounts of power. I'll do 12 for this, or maybe even 10 might be better. I like the creepypasta based on it. You're going to have to be a bit more specific than that, Foxy, because there's several. You may want to be just a smidge more specific. And delete those. Like, for real, Foxy, you're going to have to be a bit more specific about which creepypasta that one is. Literally any of them? I mean, fair enough. Oh, it's doing the janky thing where it doesn't like to scale on the X properly. That's fine, I'll fix when I snap to the neck. Like, do you have a favourite Pokemon creepypasta? Because I do, actually. And it's a really specific one, but I think it's well done, relatively speaking. And it's a creepypasta where a person evolves their Pikachu from like Pokemon Yellow, and everything just goes from downhill from there. Like, if I remember the name of it off the top of my head, I'll tell you, but that's probably going to be one of my favourite ones. Like, it's no Godzilla NES, but it comes relatively close in quality, which is quite a surprise. Or at least in my mind it did. Also, what's really entertaining is I've actually gone ahead and, in true stupid Caitlyn fashion, I have bought a creepypasta Pokemon game. I'm actually getting it delivered soon-ish. And it's actually a copy of Pokemon Black. I like the creepypasta of that one red character that had their Charizard die in a trade but got revived by Masigno. Oh, yeah, I think the... Shut. Was not talking to you, Alexa. And it knows I wasn't talking to it because even though I said its name, it didn't respond, like it didn't light up. So it knows it's in trouble. We got the name of it? I mean, fair enough. Anyway, as I was going to say, yeah, that's a reference to, I believe, Charizard M? Really interesting mechanics on that particular glitch Pokemon. Ah, yes, a classic quote. And it still seems to keep going to this day, huh? I need to Alt-N, recalculate outside, because that was actually reversed. I could barely tell that it was, but I'm getting better at telling that it is. But yeah, like, the mechanics behind Charizard M are quite interesting because I believe it shares the same index value as the cancel button for, like, the cancel button in general. Like, it has an index of, I believe, 255. Now, that's important because there are certain glitches that you can do with Charizard M. I believe one of them being the time capsule glitch, where you can, like, smuggle Pokemon into the time capsule. I believe you can use it to fuse Pokemon. Not me looking at who I'm subscribed to for no reason, just to see you live. Yeah, hello Gohan. Yes, I am shockingly enough live. Doing whatever the hell it is I'm doing these days. But yeah, like, I believe you can create hybrid Pokemon from using Charizard M. I believe, like, the process is that you have to dump 2 Pokemon into a box with Charizard M, then you have to pull them out in a specific order, and depending on the order of the Pokemon, they get merged together. It also leaves a glitch Pokemon in its wake, so maybe best not to do that without a little bit of practice at first, and, you know, expecting your save file to be corrupted. Now, how have I managed to do this? Like, every time I smooth the vertices, it seems to be that this thing just doesn't want to merge correctly. If I smooth these again, yeah. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Maybe I need to... I'm just going to merge by distance. Okay, no vertices, so I haven't got any double ups either. Good to know. Hope you've been doing well. Have a nice stream. Thank you, Gohan. I hope you're doing well as well. It's only been quite a while since I've seen you. Don't really want to do all of those. Maybe... I'm already streaming, thank you, phone. Or I'm already doing Blender anyway. That's just a reminder telling me, hey, you actually need to get off your ass and do some work. Wait, 3, just get all the way up the chest. Because I still need to merge this into this. Alright. And probably the back as well. Let's do these 2. Merge these 2 down and these 2 up. And that leaves a bit of a conundrum, but I'm pretty sure I can handle it. Another Pokemon creepypasta I like is the one The Unknown. Is honestly pretty disturbing but cool. Is that Unknown God, or is that a different Unknown one? Because there's quite a few of them. Like, I know, like, I can think of, like, probably, like, 3 or 4 off the top of my head that's based around Unknown specifically. But, like, the first one that jumps out to me when somebody mentions Unknown is Unknown God. I'm gonna fill this to it, I think. And then probably the safest one to hold is this one. The one with gold where the unknown spell out words in his party slow moves his body parts. Oh, Snow on Mount Silver? That one? Like, I think I know the one you're talking about specifically. That's a pretty popular one. Is that the one where he fights Red at the top of his decaying Pikachu with his Celebi that's also lost body parts? Because if so, that's Snow on Mount Silver. Okay, and fill those in. Not bad. I probably need to add a loop cut around that to make the shoulder more mobile, but it should be fine, I think. And then that down. I probably need to add a few extra loop cuts to different things, not just that. I might actually delete that one and just fill these two in, I think. Just drop this up. Down slightly. Should probably fill these in with Melton ease. The Friday Night Funkin' mod, the Hypno's Lullaby one, kind of got me obsessed with the creepypastas. Okay, yeah, I could see that, because, like, Hypno's Lullaby had some really good songs. Right, there's, like, one Hypno's Lullaby one that I used to listen to all the time. I'm just trying to remember which one it was. I believe it was called Purin. The animations were so good. Yeah, it's a shame about what happened. Like, obviously with the whole mod team splitting apart and all that. It's kind of a shame, but like occasionally those things happen, you know? Okay, we'll just actually fill this one in here. And then I can just fill this all the way up. For the most part, I probably need to yeah, I definitely need to, like, add some extra geometry to this, I think. I'm gonna add an extra cut here. Yeah, like, Purin was I personally think was my favourite. And obviously you've got, like, your funny ones in there, too. Like, I believe Hypno's Lullaby was the one that had Drowsy, Sonic EXE, and was it the Mario from Mario Madness that they were playing cards? Like, that was a pretty decent song. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be an issue, I think. There's no good ways for me to do this. If I do this, then it's just gonna cause problems, I think. Yeah, because that just leaves me to try anyway. Maybe... yeah, I think an extra loop cut here. Just purely for the fact that I do need the extra geometry on this model. Not to mention the songs, literally the ones I became obsessed with were Frostbite, Dissension, and the one with Glitch Red. Oh yeah, fair enough. Like, those are pretty good songs. forgot to send that. But yeah, like, there were some good songs on that, but it's just a shame that the entire thing basically just collapsed. I'm not a fan of that edge flow, to be honest. I might just pull this one back and add another edge flow to the internal. Let me find the name of the last song. I'm literally so annoyed I forgot it. Yeah, I hated that it got cancelled. It had so much potential. Yeah, sometimes things just fall through though, you know? Like, I need to start adjusting these so they're a bit more consistent with the bass body. I, honest to God, thought for a second there that my playlist had changed to Linkin Park somehow. I was just like, wait, hang on, no, this is copyright, but no, it's not. What song is this? The Land and Roll. Okay, fair. Yeah, I got so spooked for a second there, I thought, oh god, I'm gonna get cancelled by YouTube and Twitch for copyright. Okay, those are all good. I just need to do this to the hands. So the arm to the hand. That shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, sorry, accidentally headbutted the microphone, that was rude of me. Now, this is quite dense. Isotope. Yep, that does sound correct. Oh my god, how could I forget that? I don't know. You were literally addicted to that song for actual months, and I was starting to get a bit concerned. I thought this was another blinding light situation. So I have 20 edges on this, and I only have 12 on this. I need to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. Okay, let's just keep filling these in, because I believe it decreases it by 2 every time I do this. So that should be 16 now. I could stand to get rid of some of the geometry around here. So I should have 12 here and 12 here. But I think what I want to do is I actually want to get rid of this one, I think. Because positioning is going to be important. Dude, the amount of times I looped that just because I simped for the red... Of course you would, Foxy. What is it with you and glitch characters? Says the person who's in the current situation that they're in. If you know me, you know. Like pot calling the kettle here, but like you have an inordinate amount of fictional crushes, Foxy. Like even more so than even I would be comfortable admitting. I guess he just has a deep voice. Okay, you know what? Fair. As somebody who has also made poor life decisions over a deep voice, that's fair. Am I a joke to you? I'm assuming that's a thing from the song, right? How am I going to... I'll probably just do these two first. I need to basically rotate this along until I can find a good position. It's literally the first thing he says in the song. I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never listened to the song. Oh boy, there's like 6 speeches coming out of that. Okay, probably what I need to do is I actually need to take a step back. Like, undo that particular extrusion. Which I'm going to do by just straight up deleting it. Because I need to do it from here, I think. So I start, like, if I just do it from here and then I extrude out afterwards, it should give me enough space to work with. So I'm going to edge slide this one. Another thing I was obsessed with was his dialogue that he said in the song. I mean, I feel like dialogue in Friday Night Funkin' mods is just like a one-way trip to getting a really popular song. Because like, you say that and I immediately think of like Silly Billy. Or like Expurgation, that sort of thing. Like, I feel like putting like actual spoken words into a song is just an easy way to get a lot of attention. I don't know why. So this is how many now? 20. That's still like really dense. Just gonna try and get as many of these as possible. So, how many is this now? Come on. Don't be shy, computer. 14. Okay. I'll probably get away with not doing that particular one. Actually, I might not be able to. And then probably this one. And I'll just have to arrange these correctly. That shouldn't be too difficult. At least less difficult than what I was doing just before. They took everything from me, my voice, my freedom, my legacy. That does go pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Are you sure this is 12 and not 10? Oh, I see what the problem is. Yeah, I extruded. I did that on the wrong side. It needs to be... So there needs to be some extra geometry here. Probably need to actually bring this one down, perhaps? Oh, this is a really delicate game to play. This is a bit tricky, chat. Probably help if I was just like doing multiple of these. Like if I was, if I did like a couple of these further down the hand. But I'm not a fan of the idea, unfortunately. So I got that one there. definitely need to do some on the underside of the hand. I'm actually gonna do this one here and this one here, which will give me those two there. So how many does that give me now? 16, and I need to get rid of 2 more. So if I extrude this out, give me a better idea of where I need to remove 2 from. Not there, not there, not there. I need to move that along. Ah, so I need to remove it from here. It's like so many different ones I could do here. Probably this one, and then maybe the one adjacent to it. Hey Foxy, what's your opinion on like the new Minecraft April Fool's snapshot? Like, assuming you've played it, of course. Don't want to do that. Just want to move these. Yeah, there's like way too many poles here for my liking, but I'm trying my best here. The new Minecraft, what now? I couldn't hear it last part because you got a little quiet. I must have looked away from the microphone. The new Minecraft April Fool's snapshot. I personally think it's a fun time. I really need to change the settings on this microphone, because like I thought I had the settings on this fixed to where I wasn't gonna have that like randomly muting issue anymore. But clearly I haven't done a good enough job on that. I have to look into it when I get the time. Oh, I've messed the hand up again. Bruh. Chat, the 3D modeling software is bullying me again. Okay, actually I want to save over there. There we go. Oh, I didn't see that one. I haven't kept up the Minecraft updates. It's a fun time. Like, if you've seen the Infinite Dimensions April Fool's snapshot, it's like that. Except, like, you have a bit more control over how dare it bully you. Yeah, it really do be bullying me. Bullying me by doing the exact thing I ask it to do, and then being salty because it's not the thing that I wanted to do. Even though I should really know better than that. Maybe if I just, like, do this, which seems like a stupid idea at first, and it probably is, quite frankly. But at least I'll have a better a better understanding of where, like, the edges are actually going. Okay, need to move this over a bit more. Because I can just add in loop cuts after this to fix the sticking out issues. It's a bit janky, but it will work for now. Now if I fold these two in, fill that, and I realized I completely forgot about the shitnose song slash creepypasta. There's a creepypasta associated with that. I thought that was just a meme song. Is it based off of like an NES copy of Pokemon, perhaps? Because I feel like that's the case. And let in. I think so. Oh, okay. Because like that's the only thing I could assume was like an illegal NES copy of Pokemon Gold and Silver. And those things exist, by the way. Like, the NES copies of Pokemon do actually exist. But they're Chinese exclusive, for want of a better term. Like, I remember seeing somebody make a video over the Ruby and Sapphire copies, I believe they were. And then, there we go. 2 loop cuts there. Actually, I might Control X that one and then bevel that with 3. Because that is a bend point. Actually, I can probably just grab this one and drag it down a bit. There we go. So we got hands, arms, legs, feet, neck. So I've really just got to do the head now. Just slide these across a bit. Because like the topology around here is slightly abysmal, like even for me, but that's whatever. It's about a trainer who caught Shitno when he wasn't supposed to be able to catch it, and because of that, believed he was cheating and punished him. Huh. I might have to look that one up later. Because, like, it's an interesting concept. I've just never seen the particular creepypasta. Like, I used to really read a lot of those during high school, which probably contributed to my insomnia issues, because despite what everyone thinks, I am, in fact, a little bitch. Like, I'll admit it, I am. Okay, let's just get rid of... Oh, I forgot to do that, didn't I? Like, I wasn't intending for there to be a weird tongue thing here, but here we are, I guess. Let's just get rid of that. I don't even have my graphics tablet out at the moment, just... I need to do something about that. I don't think I need to pull out the graphics tablet for this. The tongue? Yeah, that wasn't supposed to be there. That's actually a part of the neck. I guess it just didn't fully get incorporated correctly. Why do you just have an emote of... I assume that's a turtle sticking the tongue out. Why do you have that? That's like really, like, that's a really specific emote. Why do you have it? And remesh that. That's going to take a second. It's a hype train emote. Oh, that makes sense. Actually, have I shown you, like, the one hype train emote that I managed to get a hold of? Where is it? Where is it? Kappa... Here it is. I do have this one. Which is the... It's the Hype Train Record emote. I got that like quite a while ago. I don't remember which stream it was, but it was one of them. Okay, let's just grab this. Now, the retopology on this is going to be a bit of a nuisance. I'm going to hide these. God, that looks absolutely deranged without, like, the rest of it. That looks utterly absurd. Oh, I don't like that. I'm just gonna try and get this done as quick as possible. Alright. Try to do that. I'm going to... This requires probably a bit more topology. That looks cursed. It does. Like, without all the rest of the fixings on it, it just looks deranged. I probably want to have 12 on this one, I think. Like, it requires a slightly higher topology count than the rest of the body. I probably spend way too much on the hands and feet, to be honest, but that's whatever. And probably pull it like halfway through the head. Now I probably need to duplicate this and pull it down here too. Because this is going to be an absolute nuisance to do if I don't do that now. Then I need to... I'm going to start at the top of the head, I think. So grab that, make sure it's snapped down. Not that far down though. Like, keep it in your pants, Blender. Is this going to be enough? It should be. I just need to pull some more of these across, I think. Yeah, it should be sufficient. I just drag that. And just pull the shrink wrap modifier again, and we start extruding. And then this one I extrude forwards. Again. Actually, I just want to smooth this one. Yeah, we get it. Excuse me for a moment, chat, while I just quickly tend to that problem. Despite what one may think from the last stream, that alarm is not actually telling me when the stream ends, it tells me when I need to put eye drops in. Because I am dumb and I will forget if given the chance. Now, extrude this forward one more time, and then I fill this. Pull that in. Now this is unique in the fact that it has 6 edges that I need to figure out how I'm gonna do this. I think the easiest way is to subdivide this and then subdivide the top one, which will give me the vertex count that I need. So if I join that, And then if I fill this in, this should... Oh, but then it doesn't. I was gonna say it should give me quads, but I wasn't counting correctly. There's still this. So if I subdivide this one more time, and then join this together, I'm actually just going to join these two because I feel like it would work a bit better. And then... Wait, did this not create a vert? How? How did this happen? That doesn't normally happen. Let's try this again, yeah? Join that. What a strange incident for that to happen. Okay. Just want to grab the light. There we go, and now that should fix. There we go, now that conforms to the head a bit better. Oh, but that leaves behind triangles. Oh, that is fine, that can be remedied. Even though this is probably not the way I'd want to do it. Prefer this to have... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to fix this in general. So I don't actually need these. I just want to Control X. There we go. And what I can do is grab these and inset them. B for boundary. Inset those and then just move them around so they're a bit smoother. That should allow me to... One, two... Yep. Alright, that should be good. Now I just need to extrude out the back. I don't know why, but this, like, I know this music is designed for, like, atmosphere in video games, but this is some of the goofiest music I think the company has ever made. Like, I don't know, it's just the vibes seem a bit weird on that one. Now, why is this shrink wrap not working as intended? I found out a bit of origins for the creepypasta I mentioned. Which one? You've mentioned several so far on the stream. Not annoyed, just want a point of reference here. Like, are we talking about the shit no one? Are we talking about the, like, snow on Mount Silver? Like, which one are we talking about here? Man, maybe I should have added extra topology on this, actually. Like, in saying that, I'm also going to be sub-diving this later. Apparently it's a bootleg Pokemon Shitno and the trainer's name is Ray. Oh, okay. Right, to pull this up a bit. Yeah, I think I add extra topology here, because this is starting to get a bit absurd. Bootleg Pokemon game, I assume. Yeah, I mean, understandable. feel like I've backed myself into a bit of a corner here with this. Maybe I do just give this extra topology and just take the loss on that. Because this is quite detailed, probably does need quite a fair bit of extra faces just to get to work correctly. Because then I can just drag this down here and then add that. And I can just arrange these however I please. At least that's the idea. Like, it sounds to me like the original Shitno creepypasta is based off of maybe a bootleg Yellow. Or like, probably even Fire Red Leaf Green. And the only reason I say that is because, like, whenever I'm thinking about Hypno in general, like, any encounters with it, the first thing that comes to mind is Berry Forest and Fire Red Leaf Green. So, like, maybe that's what it came from, otherwise I couldn't tell you. Not without actually being able to see the story for myself. Okay, need to probably even Control X that one. Just to make this more even. Alright, that looks relatively good because, I mean, like, it's still going to get subdivided later, so I can just do the detailing from that. But this, I still need to fill in and fix. Subdivide that, and... oh, what have I done here? Subdivide that. There we go. Due to the fact that it's not possible to beat it in the game it's from, players nicknamed it Shitno. The only way to capture it would be to use a hacked copy and go beyond the glitch difficulty cap, but you don't want to do that. That's what the description of the Friday Night Funkin' mod says at least. Huh. I wonder what bootleg it's based on then. Because I can't think of, at least not off the top of my head, any Pokemon games that would feature... well, actually, no, I can think of one game that features like a Hypno or a Drowsy, and that's Mystery Dungeon. So, like, I assume the boss is there for some other reason in the bootleg. Together, and then subdivide that and join that together, and that gives me pretty much all quads, I believe. But yeah, I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure it's like an NES like bootleg of Pokemon Yellow, but I'd have to double check that to verify. Let me look it up. Okay, yeah, sure thing. Because I am genuinely curious. Because like there's a lot of creepypastas that you like, Pokemon pastas you see, and it's like, oh yeah, this one's based on Pokemon Yellow, this one's based off of Gold and Silver, possibly even Crystal. But that one's a bit of a question mark for me. I assume it's an NES bootleg of one of the Gen 1 or 2 games. The only reason I assume Gen 1's because that's the game that that particular, well, at least the Pokedex entry originated from. Okay, smooth those. Actually, I'm going to just smooth the entire link on that one. Because, like, I know the creepypasta bootleg that I ordered is based off of Pokemon Black. Not Pokemon Black. It's based off of Pokemon Red and Blue. At least, I'm pretty sure the original creepypasta for Pokemon Black is under the assumption that it's based off of Pokemon Red specifically. Alright, just rotate this, extrude it out. Now I could see this becoming a bit of a problem. Might want to have extra geometry just on this one. Just purely because of the way it's designed. So I want to maybe draw that down all the way down to the bottom. Alright. Oh, the old joints are a bit clicky today. Probably far more than is really necessary for me. Oh? What did you find, Foxy? Extrude this out. Damn, I thought it was based off of something, but it appears to be an original character. Ah, okay. Fair enough, I suppose. I just assumed it was based off of one of the NES bootlegs, because there's a lot of them. How many edges are on this? 7. That's not gonna work for me, dog. Actually, that does make it 14. But that still doesn't help the fact that I still need to... Wait, I can just... I always forget, I can just add more geometry. I'll add one here because there is a jutting out part that I do need to deal with. Still cool though? I mean, yeah, fair enough. Okay. Okay. This is gonna be a bit confusing. But there is one game that I can think of off the top of my head that is, like, it was supposedly, I like the story they made for it. Apparently Shit knows a female and bootleg Hypno, if that part wasn't obvious, yeah. There is a particular game that I'm thinking of, right, chat? And this is just like one of those games, like, you sort of vaguely remember it, but you don't until somebody mentions it. There is a game called The Dog Island, and it is, by far, one of the weirdest kids games. Like, the actual game itself is good, okay? Well, I say good, it's decent. It's... The game itself, right, is a game, in theory, meant for kids. But you look at the game, and there's like, oh yeah, here's Dog Island, yeah. It's called, like, the full title is The Artlist Collection, like, Artlist Collection The Dog Island. And that game is probably going to be one of the most traumatic games if you've ever played it as a kid, like, far enough. Like, the other dog adjacent game from that particular PS2 like Wii era that I can immediately think of the top of my head is A Dog's Life. Oh my, yeah. If you've ever played it, you know. But like that game is rated, I believe, E for like literally E for everyone. But it has things like medical malpractice, like actual on-screen death, gang violence and harassment, like all the like anything that's not outright profanity or like explicit alcoholism, that sort of thing, like all the things that would get a game rated higher, like anything that doesn't do that is in the game. Like I played the game semi-recently, I'd like to say, probably like a few months ago. And I've played this game multiple times. Like, I enjoy the game. But apparently my brain just blocked out the fact, like, blocked out an entire level. And, like, I'm gonna say spoilers for a game that's probably like 15 to 20 years old at this point. There's a scene at the very end of the game where you're on a minecart and you have to escape. And it's basically a glorified QTE. But the actual atmosphere, like trying to escape from this collapsing mine, is just some of the most, I'd probably even say, traumatizing things that you could find in a game. So much so that even my adult brain has apparently blocked it out. Like, how does that happen? Like, that takes a lot. Like, this is coming from somebody who's constantly played horror games for years. But, like, the scene is just unlike anything you would reasonably find in any other, like, E-rated game. Like, that shit is horrifying. Like, I remember seeing, I believe it was on Tumblr actually, like we're talking about like the Dog Island because somebody posted a funny screenshot from it, but somebody mentioned like, oh yeah, I had nightmares from the giraffes. I was like, that's really specific. And then I actually looked and I was just like, oh yeah, I could see how somebody would potentially have nightmares from that. Like, how do you manage? I can anything with animals and trauma I cannot deal with makes me cry for real. Okay, yeah, definitely steer clear of the game. Only purely for the fact that the animals themselves are just, like, they're not good people. Like, there's a scene in the game, right? So, I'm gonna slightly elaborate on the gang violence thing for a second here. So, there, in the game, there's a gang, I believe it's called the Victory Gang. Now, the Victory Gang was originally, like, ran by this one guy, like, this one dog, and, like, they would go around doing nice things for other dogs, you know, like your typical, like, youth group type of stuff. But then, once he retired, there was, like, a huge power vacuum. So, two leaders stepping in trying to compete for like the title of ultimate leader sort of thing. And one of the things that the game, like the gang does on a regular basis apparently, is harass this poor nurse who's just trying to do her job. And it comes out like really early on in the game that she's afraid of blood. Like, for a nurse, like, really silly, I know, but it's plot relevant later, I promise. So they know this poor nurse is afraid of blood, so what do? They throw tomatoes at her until she faints. And why is this nurse afraid of blood, you might ask? It's because she got into a fight with her childhood best friend, and she believes she mauled her so brutally that she killed her. By the way, this is not stuff I'm making up. Not the nurse, yeah. This is not stuff I'm making up. This is actually the plot of the game. Like, this is plot relevant. because you need to help the nurse in order to be able to get, like do story progression and stuff. So this information is not only plot relevant, it's required. The poor nurse, yeah. So she's afraid of blood because she believes she killed her best friend in childhood. And that's why she became a nurse, so she could help other dogs who are injured and that sort of thing. And, like, all well and good. But, like, she's literally getting harassed by a gang for it. Like, damn, bruh. Like, if there is any game that any company said, I'm sure it'll be fine, it was that one. I know the rating, that is not a kid's game. Like, what else is there? There's, oh yeah, obviously, because, like, you're a hero going on an adventure, your dad's not around. But as it turns out, he's been stuck in a different dimension for years. Like, who would have expected that the funny dog game has dimensional travel contained within it? Like, what else is there? There's a point at the start of the game where your character, like your dog character, jumps off the side of a ship. Speaking of animals, a wild Jessie has come into my room, meowing is now on my lap. Oh, Jessie. But yeah, it's just like, you look at the age rating of the game, and it's like, oh yeah, this is rated E for everyone, and then you play the actual game and you're just like, how is this rated E for everyone? Oh yeah, there's also medical malpractice in this game too. That's not a sarcastic thing, that is also a plot point in this game. Like, the doctor that you go to the island to see, right? Because, like, the entire plot of the game is that your sibling is really sick, you need to help them. Your dad went out, like, a long while ago to try and find a cure, and, like, disappeared. So you have to go and see this, like, special doctor on the island, and he's supposed to be, like, the best doctor in the world. And, like, you go and see this doctor, and you're, like, trying to find out whether, like, how or whether it can be cured, like the condition your sibling has. Like, that's basically the entire plot point of the game. But it comes out later on in the game that the doctor accidentally kills his own girlfriend because he's too stubborn to, like, get help from a different, like, I would say a different medical practitioner is literally, like, your traditional healer type. Like, basically a witch. But, yeah, this guy literally commits medical malpractice, and you see his girlfriend pass away, like, actually in the game. You see her grave on an island in the middle of a lake that the doctor goes and visits. Actually, I don't like how I'm doing this, so I'm actually just going to delete this and do it again. But, like, the game's messed up, man. Like, it's actually legitimately messed up. And I'll just lock this down here for now. I'll stick with 12 for now, but I just didn't like how that was looking, so I've just decided I'm gonna redo it. But yeah, funny that medical malpractice and an E for everyone. Like, that's as close as you're gonna get to House on the PS2. this down just a smidge more, and then I'm going to those. What have I done? Okay, it does look fine actually. But yeah, that game, like, if there were any game that was rated for kids that isn't meant for kids, it would be that and A Dog's Life. The only reason I say A Dog's Life is not because, like, the rating is necessarily wrong, it's just because it's a really bad game. Like, we're talking abysmally bad here. Like, it's not even a so bad it's good situation, it is legitimately just bad. Calculate outside. I might actually... I do this and I'll just like extrude up here. Probably be the best way to do this. And then this one I'll just extrude off to the side. Go, and that should be relatively good, I think. Put those two in. Try and like get it within this gap here. Like, it's not as easy as I'd like, to be fair, but what's out there, a little bit of struggle anyway. Probably just loop cut down here and just move things about until it's relatively even. Slide that up a bit. Slide that down. So how is Jesse doing, Foxy? It's been a while since I've heard about him. Like, I know you have Scarlet now and all that, but like, you've got so many cats that I find it a little bit hard to keep track of them all. Actually, it's gonna pull this all the way up. Not quite that tall for that one, thanks. Alright, what's going on here? Alright, I need to pull that out. Because sometimes the snapping doesn't do what I want it to. And it just does what it feels like sometimes. Alright, here we go. so now I need to fit these into the gap. Probably face project for how small this is. Yeah. It's really fit it into the gap. There we go, that's a bit better. Because, as I've said before, this, like, crack in the... This crack here is essentially the mouth of Missingno. Or at least that's the way I'm trying to portray it anyway. Out a bit, so I get a little bit more in here. And just move some of these about. Okay, I can't move that one actually. Now this is how many? 7 edges. Preferred 8. I might put an 8th one in here actually. Just really pull that one up. Yep. Let's see. Should be enough, I think. So probably what I want to do is I want to extrude this out one more probably, and then fill that in. Subdivide this a couple of times. These, that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not what I wanted. Maybe if I fill in here, maybe? Looks like I might have to add an additional subdivision in here. And then I can ping that one and that one. Yeah, it seems to be about right. Oh wait, did I do the thing again? I think I did the thing again. There we go, that's a bit better. Go around, thanks. Go. It's down. Not quite that far. Alright, this should be fine, I think. Now I just gotta do the entirety of the inside of the head. read this up actually. And then after that I just need to connect the insides together. Okay, I'm going to do this. It's going to be a little bit more difficult than I anticipated, but this is what I get for working on the most esoteric project known to man. Consequences are on me. I mean, like, it's not like anyone's going to see the inside the mouth anyway. But still, I'd prefer to have it at least vaguely normal. Okay. Should be fine, I think. Yeah, I think I want to actually like cut this just a smidge. So I'm just noticing that there's not quite enough geometry on here to fulfill the needs. That can happen from time to time. At least in this case, I can just drag this across. Do I need even more? Probably not. Just that. It seems to be like sometimes Blender just likes doing a thing where it just sends the vertex you're trying to extrude off in an entirely different direction. Like, fair enough, I get it. I don't want to do what I'm told sometimes either. One, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. It's not providing me with huge issues at the moment. Don't you hate it when you swallow and then out of nowhere you start coughing like you're dying from choking? Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have that issue when I'm trying to sleep occasionally. I'll just be lying there and for some reason my body will just be like, no, screw you. I know logically it's because my medication just does that occasionally. But God, is it annoying when it happens. It's just like, no, you don't get to breathe properly. You get to choke for the next 5 minutes. Like, how rude can you be? For real though? Yeah. Like, it's up there with biting your tongue by accident or like biting your own mouth. It's just like, I've been doing this my entire life. How am I still biting myself by accident? Let's see, do I maybe want to put an extra loop in here? How am I going to go about doing this? Along a bit. Just leave it for now. Move that to there, and move that to there, and hopefully now that I hit F, yeah, it does, it's topped. What a whimsical song, that one. That is truly the song of whimsy, that thing. Okay, and just fill that in. There we go. I preferred this if this was a bit more indented. And across. I need to like pull this up high enough that it captures the slant. Yeah, and then pull this one back slightly. There we go. Yeah, that looks a bit better. And then I've just got to figure out how I'm going to merge these down into just one. Unless I just, you know, put in another goofy little loop cut here. Just like, I don't want to force too much into it because otherwise it's just going to look really weird. Like, there needs to be a good amount of detail, but like not so much that it's going to cause me a headache whenever I go to put all of this and merge it down to this little next section here. Need to be careful of that. I, of course, am not going to follow my own advice. But you know, somebody who's actually trying to become a 3D artist, don't do what I'm doing. Very dumb idea. And fill that in. There we go. And then just pull some of these down to make room for this quote-unquote joint. It's not really a joint if it's not mobile. And then extrude that, rotate it, smooth it out a bit. Okay, so what have we ended up with here? Because I know this is going to be a lot. So this is 15 edges, and it's going down into 5. So that's 30 edges going down to 10. That is a lot of work I'm going to have to do. And there's probably one more edge in here than what's absolutely necessary. I'm going to call it and say it's this one. It was most definitely that one, actually. So that gives me 14. Yeah, I can probably merge 28 into 10, to be fair. Just requires a little bit of finagling. Okay, and so how do I go about doing this? Probably this one for the start. Just fill that in. And then slide that, fill that in. And then slide this one, fill it in. This is 5, and this is currently... I'm sorry, 68. Oh, right, because of the edge flow. Duh. So this is 8 still. I'm probably going to need some loop cuts in there, but that's fine. I'm just going to find some way to merge those ones down. Like, I can fill it in, but then that just still gives me 2 that I need to merge down to 1. Another option I can use is possibly this. Just fill that in. Then that still gives me 5. So that's not the way I'd go about doing this then. So, I'm trying to make it an absolute abomination. How would I go about doing it? Because, like, one way is just to put more loop cuts, but I really don't want any more than I've already got. I could remove some, but in saying that, I think all of these are structure-defining loop cuts here. Okay, this is going to be a really dumb idea, but if it works, it's not stupid. And that. Okay, that was a stupid idea. Getting stuck on the final part is kind of obnoxious, isn't it, chat? like, I can fill this in, and this just gives me 5. Because pulling an edge back like that and then filling it always removes 2. Which is good for even numbers, but it's not good for when you've already got odds. So, the best way to do this may be sharing? It's not really a technique I use often. That gives me 9. So that doubles the vertices. Like, it adds 2 to the vertex count, basically. So, as much as I'd love to add, like, an actual loop cut all the way around, I don't think I can here. I'm gonna remove these for now. I'm actually going to slide this back and fill it. That will give me 7. I move this and I extrude this out. Fill this in. Fill this in. That gives me 5. Okay, done. I was hoping that would give me however many I needed. I don't suppose there's any 3D modeling experts in chat that could help me with this one. Chances of an actual 3D modeling expert being in here is quite low. But I can't blame me for trying. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna get rid of this because this doesn't help me. Back to the way they were. Okay, so that's given me 9 now. Maybe I do add a loop cut in here, which would give me 10. And then I can fill from this one. Because if I join these together, like if I fill this, and I fill this in, it's just going to give me 7 again. No, it gives me 8. Oh, so that's how you do that. Okay, good to know. And if I get this now, it gives me 6. So, if I fill this in, 1, 2, 3, dash. This gives me how many? 6 edges to work with. I would prefer that to be a quad. So how do I make it a quad then? Probably by making a shit ton of poles of IGD, yes. Which is not really what I want to do. Does this technically work? Not the way I would have wanted it to work, but it works. It just means that my flow will probably be quite off, but what can you do about it, chat? I'm still vaguely new to this. Alright, I think I'm just about done with retopology, actually. Nope. No, not quite. There's still one there. Wait, hang on. I see you, little jerk. So if I fill this up, fill that. I don't know why it refuses to merge correctly. If I turn the merge up slightly, it might help actually. Yep, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to quickly select any interior faces. I don't have interior faces, apparently. Weird. I could have sworn that I did. Guess I must be getting better at this to not do that by accident. So if I'm just going to put this in. And if I hide this... Okay, yeah, that works. Probably needs to be a little bit of extra work done on this, but that's not too bad. Alright, so... back... I guess the next thing is to give this thing a subdivision surface modifier. I do need to apply those modifiers first before I do that though. Oh, I've still got those things too. Ah, that's going to be an issue. Especially considering the fact that I've just done all the retopology. Okay, that's fine, I can deal with that though. So, let's go back into this, and let's see. Let's focus on these ones first. Nope, done with that one. Set that. But it's all well and good to say, like, have the horns attached separately. But I would like to have them attached to the actual model itself. Which is going to mean that I need to do a fair bit of work on this. So let's just bring back first set. Forward a bit. And then I think I do this one as well. Now, if I inset this, I should be able to get a relatively good foundation for this. Inset that, please. Alright. I actually need to delete these faces. I'm actually going to join this to the chest body. Whatever. Control J and then sculpt mode. And mouse button and ready to symmetrize first. And then I need to remesh it. I love how this music is currently going along to the beat of my computer's fan, just absolutely screaming in the background. Like, this boss music isn't for me currently doing my work, it's for my computer struggling for its life. Okay, and back out of that. Oh, now why are you grabbing the entire oh, I have proportional editing on, that's why. Yeah, proportional editing can be a bit of a jerk, but it's very helpful. Holy shit, I haven't seen you since I was 12. Hey Tucker, how you doing? At least I assume you're Tucker. Yeah, like, I've been around for quite some time, haven't I? With people making comments that they haven't seen me since they were 12. Makes me realize that I have been doing this for a hot minute now. Doing alright? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Alright, just moving. You were like 30 last time I talked to you? I was 30? Brother, I'm not even in my 30s yet. I'm not sure if I should be flattered that you think I'm that old, or I should be insulted, but no, I'm not anywhere close to being 30 yet. Okay, Christ, I don't even think Charles is that old. To a 12-year-old, everyone is old. Honestly, yeah, I've noticed. I mean, like, I'm not considerably far off of 30, but, like, I'm not as close to 30 as everyone thinks I am. Alright, that should be... I'm not enjoying how this is working out, but I shall just have to work with it. Right. Now I'll just continue on with this. Rotate it. Actually, I might need to rotate this. Bit of a puzzle, this. I'm sure I'll deal with it. Might smooth that out, smidge. Because, like, it's riding up one side more than the other, and I don't really want that. Damn, bro, that's a little harsh, not gonna lie, but I guess it makes sense considering 12 is quite young. Yeah, it is. It's like very much young. Like, it's funny, I was in the doctor's the other day, and somebody said, I said to somebody, oh, I feel old. Like, said, you feel old? I'm in my 40s, and I was just like, I feel old, and I'm 27. She's like, you're not even close to being old, and I was just like, listen, I have been on this earth for a very long 27 years. I was in 5th grade. Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar with the grading system considering the fact that I'm from New Zealand with, like, years and forms and that sort of thing. But I think that tracks. I might get these horns done, they'll probably finish stream. I mean, it's 23 and feels like I should be on my 30s at least. Foxy, you have the mentality of a 23-year-old and the body of a 30-year-old. If anything you've told me is to go by. My body hates me. Yeah, same. Like, my eyes are physically trying to self-destruct every day. 22, now 23 in September. Yeah, I mean... Like, I forget that everyone from that day is, like, in their 20s now. It certainly doesn't feel like it. I just pulled this one down, I think. Maybe this one as well. Come to think of it, how long has it been since I've seen Kieran? Like, I don't think I've seen, hide, nor hear of him since we had that falling out. Speaking of which, I don't think I've seen Green either. It's been a while since I've seen basically anyone from Pristine Prison days outside of Dolphin. I think it's the only one I've seen somewhat recently. Saw him on Armor 3 a lot, yeah. I mean, to be fair, kind of tracks, I think. Like, I think the only person who I'm still friended with from Pristine days outside of Dolphin would be Ray's Actual, because I still have him friended on Steam. It's like the only other person. I'm assuming Gohan told you that I was streaming. I'm surprised, like, y'all are still in communication. It has been quite a while. No, I don't talk to anyone from back then. I saw you on YouTube because I'm subbed there. Wait, so you're telling me that both you and Gohan happen to be individually subscribed to me, because he said the exact same thing earlier, like on YouTube side. That is comical to me. Especially considering the fact this is not the first time I have streamed since then. I guess I just got everyone's attention today, apparently. Alright, so how many is this? 10. Okay, put that in. And... okay, yeah, that is correct. This one I need to be joined to. 2, 3, 4. That's 4 as well. Okay, so I just need to fix the alignment on that. tip. Foxy, please. Why are you like this? Like, we've already had the discussion yesterday about please do not the Masigno. How many times do I have to tell you this? Please control yourself for once in your life. Okay, I managed to get the first lot done at least. Certainly, I wasn't expecting to see 2 people from Pristine Prison. Like, I wasn't expecting to see Gohan, let alone you, Tucker. Actually, to be honest, I thought I had Gohan banned, but apparently not. And, okay, I think I just joined these. Well, actually, I joined the next one. I don't want to join both at the same time. Yeah, I also thought I'd be dead by now. I think we all thought that. Like, each one of us thought that not only ourselves, but everyone else from Pristine would be dead too. Because, like, I know... I think we used to call it pulling a Gohan because of that one incident. But yeah, I think everyone was a bit like that back then. Honestly, just blame my boyfriend for making me this way. Yeah, I'm just gonna send a very strongly written formal complaint. And that's a chest. Actually, I probably want to inset this first. Yeah, like, I'm genuinely surprised that most of the people from Pristine Prison are still alive. And there are some that I hope that I never see again, to be quite honest. And the first person I think about when I think about Pristine Prison these days is unfortunately Lucy. Okay, just inset this one. I don't remember names that far back. That would be... So Lucy was the moderator who managed to get himself banned and then, like, came back on multiple alt accounts and basically started the Pristine Siege. I actually still have that video, now that I think about it. Like, that was a long time ago. I still have that. Alright, pull it back up. Wait, what? Yeah, he got banned. I think he got banned for, glitching into Warp Pristine, because he wasn't supposed to, even as a mod. Yeah, is there lore I've missed? Foxy, the Pristine lore is not, is basically forbidden lore. It's like, it's the sort of information that you only really know about because you were there. It's one of those types of lores. Like, I'll explain it to you once I'm off stream. Like, I'll explain some of it to you at least. At least not the parts that, really went to hell. But, yeah, no, the moderator who got banned because he ended up hacking into the Pristine mine and then just, like, stealing a whole bunch of stuff. I think he, oh, good lord, didn't mean to do that. I think he also lied about having brain cancer. But, like, admittedly, Foxy, it was a very messy situation for everyone involved. You know what's entertaining? I've actually been considering on making like a 3D animated rendition of Pristine Prison, like some of the stuff that went on there. Like, at least some of the stuff that wouldn't get me banned off of social media. Okay, smooth those. Okay. No! Cease! No, we're not talking about that one! No, that would get me demonetized. Good thing you said that on Twitch and not YouTube. Good lord! No, we don't talk about that. Oh. Nah, that would get me into so much trouble. Do you know if Kieran and Green are still dating? Boxy, relax, that's not an invitation for you. That is the sort of abomination that no, like, normal human being should witness. I hope not. Okay, I need to ask. Like, when you say you hope not, did something end up coming out between those two? Because that statement does not fill me with a lot of confidence. And... oh yeah, it's because it's all the way off-centered. Because, like, I know they were, like, really into each other, like, around when I got Judiced. But, like, obviously, after that happened, I wasn't around anymore, so I don't know what happened afterwards. Don't remember, but I thought they weren't together in 2016. I don't know. I haven't seen them, like, since Pristine Prison died. Like, I think I moved on to... I think it was like a Herobrine survival server after that. Like a multiplayer server, and then, like, there was no interaction between any of the Pristine members after that. Okay. Should be fine. Like, I know that, after checking Skype a couple of times for various reasons I won't get into on stream here, I did know that Kieran still had his status set to, like, Nikki My Love or something like that. So, that's why I asked. Okay, and... now I need to go into assault mode, and I need to actually... symmetrize that. Remesh. Sculpt that down. Okay, so now all I have to do is just bring this back. I need to inset it and then delete the faces. Faces, there we go. Now, this does seem to be slightly less dense than normal. But I think I can work with that. Yeah, but like everything collapsed when Charles decided he wanted to do the Herobrine survival server instead, and then I'm not sure if you know this, Tucker, but he ended up on Roblox of all places. To like a very unfortunate result, but can't get into that on stream here, unfortunately. Yeah, I did a deep dive on seeding a couple years ago. Yeah, chase the money. All I'm gonna say is it didn't get much better than that. Like, I'd encourage you to do a deep dive now, and you'll see the... Well, you'll know. All I'm gonna say is, I think Dawn was right. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I kinda miss her, actually. I wonder where she's gone off to. I know, like, JK was her brother and all that. I wonder whatever happened to those two. Like, I know JK was upset with me after a particular incident involving a prank war gone awry. And to be fair, I do still feel bad about that. But I hope they're doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, Tucker. Alright, just about done here, I think. That'd just be all the retopology stuff, and then I'll probably end off stream, probably do a couple more things on, then submit it for my assignment. At least I hope I can get that much done in the few hours I have left. In classic Caitlin fashion, I've decided to do, like, to try and finish the assignment last minute. In my defense, I had a lot to do this week, so I figured that, lacking any actual accountability, doing it on stream might prevent me from procrastinating by playing solitaire for hours on end. Alright, just a little bit more on these. And how many have we got? Still 10. Okay, that's helpful. Join that. Join these two. That one and that one. And I need to go out of shrink wrap mode. Pull these until they get to where I need. And okay, I think that should do. Now if I shrink wrap back on, okay, so it's still a bit poking through there. It's fine. It is easily fixable. Okay, there we are, chat. I finally managed to retopologize this entire abomination of a character, quite frankly. So if I... Looking at my past Steam friends and don't recognize them. Past Steam friends? I feel like I should check this, but I'm probably going to check it off stream. I believe, last I checked his Steam username was like Bonus or something like that. So if I do that, yeah, that should be fine. If I shake smooth, yeah, that works. Yeah, I need to do the rest of this off stream because if I try and, oh yeah, of course, shrink wrap goes before before mirror for some reason. Oh god, what did I do here? Oh wait, that's actually just the, Okay, I need to pull this pack actually, because, it's a bit janky. But yeah, unfortunately I can't do the fun part of trying to subsurface, well sorry, subdivide this entire mesh, because if I do that on stream, my entire computer is going to start screaming, and I don't particularly want that, because I don't have the money to replace these parts at the moment, and considering the fact that graphics cards are currently like $6,000 here, I'd rather just not, you know? So one of these days I may do, like, subdivision, but not right now. Actually, is it subdivision? Generate. No, it's multi-res that I was thinking of, not subdivision. Okay, so if I do that, we should be good. Yep, something's going on here. I guess these just got too close together, perhaps. That looks a bit better. Alright, chat, I am going to save this and I'm going to head out now. Just quickly throw this up. It's been a pretty productive stream actually, it's almost 4 hours. I don't generally stream for much longer than 3 on the whole account of the last time I'm doing that, my ass getting haunted. So I shall, doesn't seem like there's anyone I can raid at the moment. So I'm just going to end off the stream here. I shall see you guys next time.